simple, dear. I'll still be here when you're gone. You gather souvenirs, but I will never be your pawn. Your pawn. Your pawn. My love wasn't ever a game. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. You can double down. I'll still be a proud haven for your love is never love. A river through your bluff, I will be enough, enough, enough. My love wasn't ever a game. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. Something you can never take, what is not uncommon to forsake. Got a chronic urge to complicate. Think of love like a friend, not an enemy. Feeling I have nothing left to hide. I'll say but you know it when it's right. Keep it simple now, living it before I die. Think of love like a friend, not an enemy. My love wasn't ever a game. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the
Hello, race fans. Welcome back to Freaky Fast Broadcasting, where tonight we have the ARCA Evolution Series here at Talladega for round number 9 of their 2021 season here for the Sheffield Graphics 40 here, like I said, from the Talladega Raceway. I tell you what, the Super Speedway here tonight is going to be buzzing with the Evolution Racing Leagues here, taking 2 events here tonight with the ARCA Series and their RSR Cup Series. So 2 great events here tonight. But before we kick off our broadcast, we need to give a shout out to all the proud sponsors here at the Evolution Racing Leagues and Freaky Fast Broadcasting. First, we need to give a shout out to Or Nissan Central, the leading Nissan dealership in Oklahoma City. Make sure you go check out their website at www.ornissancentral.com. Next, we have Sheffield Graphics. Sheffield Graphics is the leading designer in sim racing paint schemes and liveries. It was founded by a Navy veteran, and a portion of every paint goes to the Military Foundation Folds of Honor. It's a great nonprofit organization who gives sponsorship to the families of fallen soldiers and disabled veterans. So make sure to go check them out on Facebook under Sheffield Graphics and tell them that Freaky Fast sent you. Next, we have ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer 2 lets you feel every detail from the subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10 powered race car, from ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion. By moving of physical mass instead of only air like a traditional speaker, the Gamer 2 provides instant, accurate, powerful bass response, and it's all perfectly synced with every game with no additional software required. So make sure you go to buttkicker.com and you can feel what you've been missing. Remember, you can use Freaky Fast 20, and remember that's Freaky Fast with two E's to get 20% off on any purchase there at buttkicker.com to let them know that Freaky Fast sent you there, as they're a proud sponsor here at Freaky Fast and the Evolution Racing Leagues. So make sure you go check out buttkicker.com to feel what you've been missing. But I tell you what, heck of a start here tonight. It's going to be fun to watch round number 9 here at Talladega. I'm Zach Hall up in the booth here calling the shots. Alongside me will be Brandon Colley, and we have Robert Moyer Jr. up here running the camera shots and keeping all the beautiful sights and scene here from the Talladega Super Speedway. It's all you race fans at home. But Brandon here for round number 9 here tonight, Talladega Super Speedway. It's going to be wild for these 40 laps.
Yeah, man. Old school plate racing with these ARCA cars. A lot of fun. Can't really bump draft. A lot of pack racing. Really just trying to maximize your draft and kind of keep that distance to the bumper here. Gonna have to be really careful about that. These bumpers do not line up well. Pushing generally does not end with going faster, just going behind the wall.
These drivers are in practice here at the moment. About 1 minute left here in this practice session. Then we'll head into a 5-minute qualifier where these drivers will put down 2 of their best times to see where they'll be on the starting grid. The 40 laps here tonight, going to have to get everything done here quickly. But we always talk about it with these ARCA cars about the rear bumper and the front bumper just not aligning great and just leading to a lot of incidents that we'll see out here on the racetrack. We'll see if these drivers can make their way through it here tonight with this.
The bumpers, we talked about it like you said, they just don't line up, and you can make the push work, but the risk versus reward is oftentimes not worth it. Wrecking somebody for that little bit of extra speed. Really, what you want to do is just kind of maintain that about a foot distance from the bumper of the car ahead of you there, and use that air bubble, so to speak, to push these guys along.
Looking at these drivers practice at the moment, look like they're getting some good little practice in here at the Talladega Speedway. But when we get all these cars out on the racetrack, it's going to be a beast in itself here, as it looks like our practice has just come to an end. We'll head into our qualifying session. But yeah, big day on iRacing here with all the new updates. The Cup cars will be really special tonight, as they got a huge Super Speedway update that these drivers are going to have to be tackling. No changes here for the ARCA Menards car with the Super Speedway package, but I can report that there is a new damage model. For the new damage model, there's been adjustments that have been made. Pretty much they've adjusted the suspension system to prevent excessive hyperextensions. Wheel strengths have been upgraded, where rear wheels should be tougher when the front wheels dissuade the rear endings. Then they have wheel tethers that have been improved too to help keep the wheels under these cars, and so they're still working on that new damage model. We got these ARCA cars, as you see. It's very, very devastating when you get in a wreck, and they're definitely working on that, continuing to update iRacing. So we got to commend iRacing for that, Brandon.
Absolutely. Always taking great strides to improve our quality of our sim experience here. Sometimes there's some bugs along the way, some things that, just don't quite work as well as they'd imagine, but they're really quick to address those and try to do their best to get them fixed as soon as possible. So we greatly appreciate that as always.
Yes, we do. Is got some fans out there in the chat rooting all these drivers on and letting them know what's going on. We got Michael Martino. He's gonna be doing double duty tonight. Hopefully, we do get to talk to him. And David Edwards, our points leader. It looks like he's got some type of new candy scheme out there for you, Robert. I think is that Mike Ikes? I think.
It looks like the 16 of Matt Upbrook has Mike, and David Edwards in the 15 has
Yeah,
Ike.
Ikes. Oh no, we got the Mike and Ikes car, but I love it. And Robert said he loves Mike Ikes. He said that's like his favorite candy almost. So that's awesome to see these candy paint schemes out here.
real quick, I gotta mute myself on this one. My wife would see these vehicle guys. My wife would go nuts. Honestly, this is my wife's favorite candy, and mine too. But anyways, back to the guys.
That is awesome to see. And the 16 of Matt Oakbrook also out there with the mic, and his has got "Where's Ike" on the back. I love these are fantastic. These guys really play it really well with these. These guys are taking a nice little trip around Talladega here at a nice slow speed.
Yeah, nice parade lap.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike and Ike's they're gonna try to hook up here, I think, during this race. And I like it. They got one of the other one's band-aided out. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Cool paint scheme there from the two teammates at Dr. Punch Racing there. As they're the top 2 in points too, Matt Oprah and David Edwards. So great stuff from them here throughout this season. As the 13. What is the 13? What I think it is? Is there? I think he might not be a 13 on the track, but there's a 13 with a custom number, maybe. Which car was this? There was a Smokey Yanook car out there. Oh man, look at that car out there. That's the famous look, the gold and black number 13. I think it's going to be fast just by I mean, just having the paint scheme on it. I mean, really. Oh, as I think. Oh, is this Matt Upbrook? Okay, is that what? Oh, okay. It's not showing his Mike and Ike scheme for us here on the Freaky Fast. I see it on my side. We'll try to reload these paints here, see if we can get that up because he's got a similar candy scheme here for us at Freaky Fast, and unfortunately, it looks like it may just be this. Oh, not unfortunate because I love that paint scheme. That's an awesome paint scheme. If anybody knows who Smokey Nook is, but looks like it's not working with us there at Trading Paints. But at the moment, it looks like qualifying's about nearly come up to an end here as Stephen Carey in 83 right now sitting on top of the board over Anthony Gaudio.
Yeah, a lot of quick times from these guys. First, the top 3 especially, kind of under a blanket here, within a tenth of each other. Really quick times for qualifying here today.
Definitely has been some close times through the session here. As right now that 62 and that 63 very close and time. But look at Michael Harug. I give him a shout out to 7. Great qualifying time from him there in that 53.68. Getting himself far up this pack here for this 40 lap race as we watch. Yeah, that looks like that's the end of qualifying there. So Stephen Carey will be your Sheffield Graphics pole winner here as we'll pull up our starting grid here tonight, and we'll go through our list here, and then we'll get it talking with Stephen Carey. As you see the new iRacing pace car too. Oh wow, that's cool. But here we go. Here's the grid. Stephen Carey is going to start from that pole, be your Sheffield Graphics pole winner. Second's going to go to Anthony Gaudio. Third, Michael Haru. Fourth's going to be Justin Malarkey. Fifth place there, James Wright. Sixth, Harold Rothery. Seventh, Jeff Carson. Eighth, Matthew Dude. Ninth, Carl Thompson. Rounding out your top 10 is the 14th of Christopher Smerol.
It'll be Steve Potter in the 11th position, Josh Holmes in 12th, Richard Gonzalez in 13th, Stephen Rasick in the 2 and 14th, Zach Sandlin in 15th position, Kevin Dowd in 16th, excuse me, Buddy Pitts in 17th, Mike Martino in 18th, Robert Fitzpatrick Sr. in 19th, and Jake Ashea in 20th position.
21st going to go to that 53 Albert Hunes. 22nd Brian Fine. 23rd is going to be Justin Hendry. 24th is Matt Brook in the 16th. 25th is points leader David Edwards into the 25th position. 26th will be Ryan C. White, and that will round out our grid here tonight for the ARCA Evolution Series. And look at that. Man, look at the pace car. That thing is brand spanking new as it's going to pull off and lead these guys to the green here tonight, man. It's going to be exciting here as we need to bring up our Sheffield Graphics pole winner here of Stephen Carey and see what his thoughts are on tonight's race and where he thinks he can position himself as we'll bring him on down here if Discord will be nice to me. There it goes. And here is Stephen Carey, your pole setter.
Hey, Stephen, it's Brandon up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Well, man, great job getting that hot lap for the Sheffield Graphics Pole Award here at Talladega. What's your game plan here? You going to try to take it easy and hop to the back, or are you planning on just leading all these laps you can?
Well, Doesn't matter what super speedway I've been at. I've been wrecked in the front, been wrecked in the middle, been wrecked in the back. So I'm just going to try to stay up front, and hopefully I'm there at lap 39 to try to win it.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on that and seeing how long you can keep that thing there. And one other quick question: we got the new pace car in front of you there. Can't quite tell what model it is. What car do you think that is?
Couldn't call it. It looks like a mix between a like a Kia and a Cadillac, if that makes sense.
All right, thanks, bud. Well, good luck, and let you get back down there to it and take the green.
All right, that was Stephen Carey there. As I'm gonna figure this out. This whole is that a is it a Lamborghini?
I thought it looked like a Citroen.
What what is this car? Now I'm fascinated. Oh, so look at here. The guys are still bringing it. I think it's an iRacing car. I think this is like an iRacing safety vehicle, like because it has an iRacing
Probably, yeah.
emblem on it. So yeah, I think this is iRacing's car. It's gonna take a left-hand turn. Oh, look, it fell to the left here, and oh, he didn't take his burnout. Okay, so the driver's changing up his style here. I like it. Everybody, let's get ready for the ARCA Evolution Series here tonight. Round number 9 here at Talladega. As Stephen Carey here in the 83 will be looking to take us to the green flag here as they wait as we go through the trioval. Green flag in the air. Stephen Carey going to lead us down to turn 1 here. Got the 3 Anthony Gaudio in that junior paint scheme. You know that thing's going to be fast around here. We'll see how it feathers out as they go down to turn 1 and 2 side by side all the way back to that 25th position.
Yeah, I imagine, Zach, they're probably going to keep themselves side by side for quite a while here. It's not a very long race, and a bit longer races, you'd see them string out single file for a little while. But 40 laps is not a lot of time. It clicks by pretty quickly.
Times click off pretty quickly, especially in the draft. That speed is going to pick up from these cars out there. But right now, you got that 3 Anthony Gaudio. He made the quick move to get to that lead as he has the 73 of Justin Larkey fighting around his outside as the field is just rearing up the speed now as they'll be coming a complete lap 2 now.
Yeah, they've David Edwards giving Robert a shout out here for the Mike and Ike's.
I'm glad hey man, we enjoy the paint schemes, David. So keep them coming, man. That one really hit the spot there tonight, I think, for Robert. I knew when I seen the Mike and Ike's car, I'd heard Robert talk about Mike and Ike's before, so I was like, immediately, this is gonna be the one here tonight, and it was. I'll tell you that much. It's Malarkey down the 73, big run down the back straightaway to push the Harold Rothman in that 4. He's gonna get the run to that lead, and I tell you what, it's shaking up pretty quickly here in the front pack. It was some great racing early with these ARCA cars.
Well, the front pack is battling hard, but about 14th position on back. It's very spread out. Also got to point out the 77 of Jake Shea. Just missed the grid apparently. Don't know if he's having some issues, but a lap down already. Very likely to get that back, but he's completely lost the track, so he may go another lap.
Yeah, interesting too is when I just checked on there in this 77, he's only 8, so I don't know if he's bringing it back to pit road or not. What's the call there? It looks like he is. As 77 going to be out of this race here with some issues early on in this race. Is the front pack now, great looking pack there as these guys are being very smart. These cars draft pretty interestingly. I mean, you can't get too aggressive, but you can get pretty big runs. So these guys are being smart out there and giving each other nice room on them bumpers and not causing no issues.
And you can get pretty decent runs, but they're not, massive all at one time. You kind of have to build them up and essentially charge them, I guess, easy way to say it. It's not like, the Cup car where you can get just a sniff of a draft and all of a sudden that run, it's like, you picked up a good bit of extra horsepower and take off there. But you can formulate something pretty quick here, and it's really easy to time as well, so a lot of defensive options you have as the leader trying to hold these guys off.
Yeah, looking at the pack here go through, and with the new build here coming, we got a lot of changes in this thing. I think we even got some audio changes here. Out here. as these drivers keep going around. We're trying to work out the sounds right now. As I think they, like I said, there was an audio 2 update, and definitely some stuff added to there. So possibly, if our just let us know out there in the chat if what it sounds like to y'all, and let us know any comments or concerns with that, and we can get it all fixed up hopefully here. As we're through the first 4 laps of this race, it's been some great racing up front so far as Anthony Gaudio leads the way.
Look at the 6th, Richard Gonzalez went to that 3rd lane there and hopped from about 12th position, riding 4th now, 3 wide, 2 rows back here.
We'll see if, if that outside lane will come in, with the package right now in these ARCA cars, it seems like it's working up there. We'll see if the 6 of Richard Gonzalez can get anything going. I think the car ahead of him is trying to jump out ahead of him there, but just can't get cleared enough.
Yeah, Matthew Dude is he's trying to do something here. Was looking like he was wanting to hop to the outside of that 3rd lane, content to ride behind Justin Malarkey there, 2nd car in that middle lane. But the outside lane, like you talked about, it works really well. And personally, it doesn't matter what car we come to run at Talladega. That's where you're going to find me. That just seems to be where I find a lot of my speed, and I've been able to pull off quite a few moves and get to the lead from the back of the pack from there. And it looks like Richard Gonzalez is trying to pick up on some of those same tips and tricks and find his way to the front early.
Yeah, and he's got the help of Zach Sandlin there up top, so that's good help there from him and the 6 machine, and they're making the top look good. Talladega is, Daytona and Talladega, yeah, they're pretty similar tracks, but this place, you can go 3 wide here pretty calmly, I would say. This is one of the tracks where you have a lot of room to run 3 wide, nice and calm. I feel like Daytona, when you start getting 3 wide, it's definitely a little more hairy than this place. I mean, personally, you could go 4 wide here, and that's pretty much equivalent to what I feel at Daytona when you're 3 wide.
Exactly right. Here there's a lot more room for error 3 wide. The lanes are quite a bit wider. At Daytona, you are on the knife's edge of making contact with either the car to your outside, inside, or the wall. If you're on the extreme outside there for 3 wide, it's just not a lot of fun, and it's something that I don't see a lot of people try to do when we go to Daytona. But you always see people telling me.
Yeah, that 3rd lane just becomes so much more of an option when you feel more comfortable up here as you're riding on the front bumper of the 4 of Harold Rothman there. You can see in front of him is the leader of Anthony Gaudio, as the 83 behind this of Steve Carey, our pole setter. He jumped to the outside with Richard Gonzalez, so we have a 3x3 way up front here, as that outside's looking pretty good. And, this is where it's interesting. Later tonight, we're going to be talking a little bit more about side drafting. With these cars, no side drafting really going on. So all 3 lanes looking pretty even though.
It's seeming like it. I think the outside lane, just the momentum you can carry, it's so good off the corner, down the front stretch into the tri-oval. But you need a few more cars. Right now, it's only been 2. They finally got that 3rd car, and Zach Sandlin's moving back up to the high side here. See if they can make any progress. But the 2 cars, it'll hold steady. But I think to really make a lot of progress, you're going to need that extra 1 or more.
Completely agree with you there, man. You're just gonna need more. The numbers at these places is the key. Numbers.
Oh,
no. Whoa.
I'm just looking at Justin Malarkey just stuck out in the sucker hole there all by himself.
I tell you what, Brandon, that right now I think he's all right there hanging there. He's going to have a little bit of help here. If he can slide up in front of that 83, which he does, Stephen Carey, so that's good for him. But I tell you what, we see this is where, the bumpers there. Carey almost sending the 73 around. Another touch. The 73's got to slide back into that middle. Stephen Carey says, I didn't want you to slide in front. So puts it back to the middle. But tonight in the Cup cars, make sure you're right to the from the ARCA Cup Series, because I tell you what, you get put in that middle, it's now what they call the sucker hole. That thing will pull you right back as you're getting side drafted from guys inside and out of you with the new package. And it's pretty wild, but Malarkey hanging strong there in the middle by himself.
Yeah, that's one thing that I really love about these. Is another
contact.
Yeah, they got to be careful with that. That's not going to work out very well. That's the risk you take, especially in these ARCA cars. We talked about the bumpers quite a few times already. If you throw a block, you're more than likely going to get some contact from the guy behind you, and you don't want that contact at the wrong moment, because it will turn you across the front of the field here. And looked like Malarkey opted not to throw the hard block there on Stephen Carey that time.
Great stuff here. Is the bottom lane still hanging strong, but that outside lane, we've seen it work multiple times here early on in the first 10 laps. Is we're already a fourth of the way through here, Brandon. I mean, that shows you it clicks off quickly here with 40 laps here at Talladega. They got about a 50% fuel load here. So I'm thinking, really, man, I don't even know if they'll be able to make it to 20.
I'm thinking about 18 to 22. I think that's the number that they're going to have to be shooting for. But you're going to have to make it to 20 if you want to make it a one stop and make it to the end of this race. So I imagine we'll see guys trying to stay out as long as they can. But if everybody can make it to 20, I imagine that's the earliest we're going to see them come in.
I'm just a little bit concerned with making it that far. We'll have to see, but if the drivers can make it to that 20 point, then that's exactly what they're going to want to do. But if it doesn't, then we may be seeing these guys stretch it as far as they can, and maybe for that last stop, a little splash and go.
Well, it's definitely playing into the hands of these guys that aren't up here battling 3 wide for the lead, and they're able to stay in the drafts a little bit and save a little bit extra fuel by not just being in the clean air and pushing as hard as they are. So these guys may be able to make it to 20 if they're back here content, riding around saving a little bit. Then you've just got to wonder about guys like Stephen Carey, Anthony Gaudio, and Justin Malarkey that have been up here battling hard for the lead.
Wow, look at the run from the outside lane. Richard Gonzalez there giving Stephen Carey the great push. Him and Jeff Carson at top 3 wide. That's going to send Stephen Carey to the lead down to the bottom. Our pole setter back up front here. But yeah, I found someone back here, and if you think it's close to get to that 20 mark, like you said, Brandon, you could save some fuel, man, and you could definitely make that thing.
If they've done quite a bit of practice, I'm sure they know exactly how far they can go with the 50% fuel load. But if I even think it's close, especially somebody like David Edwards and Matt Upright, and their teammates, they can work together. If I can get somebody to come down early, if I know we're going to end up having to make a splash and go at the end, I might just try to run this race in reverse and come down for a splash and go at the beginning.
It's possible. I mean, the biggest thing I'd worry about is the help you have, If you ain't got help, then you probably don't want to do that. But if you got some help and some people to do it with you, then you can do it. It's just all about the help and not losing time. Being not in the pack like these guys are as they're turning really fast laps here, all racing together. Here's we hop on board with Buddy Pitts in the 24. Good to see what it feels like to drive one of these cars around the Talladega Super Speedway as we ride along here for a lap with them. A lot of lane changing too, so it's guys got options here. Usually you can switch back and forth. We're watching for Buddy Pitts here. You see the 3 jumping back up. He's trying to get the help of Malarkey here to get back to that lead. It seems that they get unfortunately the lap so far, but you can see how dangerous it is. Here comes the 24 Buddy Pitts sticking it in the middle. That's going to put Malarkey up 3 wide. Here comes Anthony Gaudio back to the bottom. Cover that off. Great shot here as we ride up board Buddy Pitts. He's going to try to fight for the lead possible.
See how on edge these cars are. The handling does not seem to be quite where ideally myself as a driver would want it in a plate track. It's a little bit wobbly, not quite stable even in a straight line. Your guys have to make a lot of wheel adjustments. So far they've been able to manage that pretty well with only a few guys really weaving and getting close to making any kind of contact. So great job so far.
As we still ride on board here, look at this, the field all filing off the turn 2. Buddy Pitts did a great job there to get to the outside. Now he works his way down the back straightaway here. A lot of drivers coming up and through. I mean, yeah, Buddy Pitts 17th and 2nd, so he's really been our biggest mover here tonight.
Well, it doesn't mean too much at a plate track. Positions are really easy to come by, but you've got to be at the front come the end. When everybody sorts out and tries to make their push to the end, if you can already be in the front, it makes it a lot easier to try to make those moves to get to the lead and take the checkered flag.
Looks like we got a few drivers that have elected to somewhat fall off the back of the pack here, and I think these guys are the guys playing it safe right now. Here in the 20th position and on back, this is Brian Fine here in that 98. Behind him, as you can see, we got him pulled up now, the 28 of Justin Hendry. He's directly behind him in the 21st position. Up to his outside, looks like that's Steven, or actually started 77 of Jake O'Shea, but he is actually He is out of this race, 4 laps down right now at the moment, 26th position, as he had some issues starting here. But you got Steve Ray sit there in the 2, directly behind with David Edwards and Albert Hughes. So these drivers here elected to stay back. And then, unfortunately, it looks like Michael Martino in the 75, he may have lost the draft here in the 25th position as the pack is starting to rear on behind him. As it's only about a 2-second gap back to the lead pack as they are 3 wide. He's up high. This is going to be interesting to see how the pack can navigate him here with 3 wide.
Yeah, 2-second difference, but they're running 10 mile an hour faster than he is on his own. Smart decision here for Martino to move down to the apron and give these guys the room they need to race.
Got to commend Michael Martino for pulling down there, letting the pack go by as they're 3 wide, racing hard for this with 24 to go. It looks like they'll be able to make it on fuel, Brandon, because, nobody's elected to pit here yet. We just got to go about 4 more laps here to really put ourselves in that window.
Yeah, we'll know for sure when these guys are going to start planning to come down pit road, because they will not want to be outside like they are here running 3 wide, trying to make those pit stops. Cutting down across the field to get to pit road, not advised.
No, not advised at all. As we continue on here with 23 to go, look 3 wide up front as Buddy Pitts leading here in the 24. Good for Buddy Pitts to get out front here and lead some laps here tonight. That's good to see in that 24 Dr. Pepper machine. But tell you what, the runs are stacking up on the outside line. The 000, Josh Holmes getting a big push for the 6 of Richard Gonzalez, who he's pretty much lived against the wall.
Well, it's a good place to live. In my opinion, for plate racing, I just prefer the outside lane, not because of the runs you can get, but because of the vision that you have. You can see a lot of what's going on around you, where if you're on the inside row, like the 3 of Anthony Gaudio, you can't really see what's going on around you very well. Really, all you can see is just the bumper, the car in front of you. But you can kind of plan accordingly when you've got the middle or the outside lane there and got a lot more vision.
Got 1 set of tires in the pits, and they're going to change them because they're going to take fuel here, but not going to really worry about tires. Not going to be a big issue. But really, it's going to be them getting down here to 20 to go when they pit and see if they can make it to that halfway point to make it to the end.
Well, getting calls that Josh Holmes, a lot of guys are coming in this time by, getting a lot of calls.
That means it's close, man. Somebody's going to stretch this. Looks like Stephen Carey and Anthony Gaudio, a lot of the leaders we had up front, hitting pit road. Oh, Buddy Pitts coming in real hot. Did he get that thing slowed down? I hope he did. I think that's a speed penalty for that 24.
I think it is as well. He was coming in about 20 mile an hour too quick.
We'll see now. 21 to go. This gives the lead over to Michael Haru in the 7th as he battles with Harold Rothbury up front here in the 4. Which of these drivers can make it to the end? Somebody's had to save here.
Looking at the pit road again, Zach, I think Buddy Pitts missed a stall as well. So that just went from bad to worse. But I think if you can stretch it even 1 more lap, you're not going to have the risk that a lot of these guys did that just pit or running out on the last lap coming out of 4. So I think being able to stretch it this extra lap, these guys are going to be in the best spot here. But, a lot of things can happen. If we get a late caution, it kind of resets everything, because I imagine if you think you're short, you're going to come in and top off and not lose much doing it.
Well, 28 to go now. These drivers look like they will be able to make it to the end here with 1 stop. As maybe they have enough in the bag that pit they could pit at that number. Maybe these drivers feel like they have enough in the bag. I don't know. That's the question we got to ask ourselves now, because most of the drivers who did pit were drivers up there up front leading. These guys are here look like the drivers who are electing more to ride back there and probably save some fuel.
It's very likely, just that extra little bit of draft and not really pushing the issue and just kind of hanging out, being a lot easier with your throttle. It can save you quite a bit over the course of a run here, and it looks like it saved these guys about 2 laps, and some even more than that, as looks like Sandlin and Haru electing to stay out this time.
Jeff Carson there blowing pit road entry, and unfortunate for him, though, he's going to have definitely some penalties for that. As now we look back here, we got Zach Sandlin in the 57 here racing up in this pack here with the Rest of these guys looks like Justin Hendry, the 98 of Ryan Fine. These drivers all back here racing around. I believe they had already hit pit road too. So interesting stuff. Is we got Haru now. He's the leader. He is yet to hit pit road. Same with him with Bob Fitzpatrick Sr., Zach Sandlin, Harold has hit pit road. So top three yet to hit pit road is I think they'll hit pit road this time. They definitely have enough to end. Does Michael Haru and Zach Sandlin and Bob Fitzpatrick Sr. have the strategy call here tonight? We'll have to see.
Well, the amount of laps that they ran, they're going to have a little bit extra for green-white checkers as well. And I got to point out, Zach, the 4, the 81, and the 23 all pit together. They're still on pit road. All 3 of them got penalties on that green flag stop. That is devastating.
Oh, man. So easy to do. So easy to do here at this racetrack. And even cold tires leaving pit road, it's so tough. This place going down pit road is where you really might be green flag pit stops is where you make your money at this track.
And it's something that's really difficult to practice under green flag conditions because generally, not running in a league setting, it can happen quite a lot in league racing as we're seeing now. But if you're used to running officials, running plate tracks, you're very rarely going to have the opportunity to attempt a green flag pit stop. So it's not something a lot of people are going to have a lot of experience with, but you have to be super easy. I would much rather break way too early and come in way too slow and give up that little bit of time than come in too fast and give up the 40 seconds you're going to have for the speeding penalty.
Oh, exactly. It's risk versus reward all the time. So gotta be able to marginalize your pit road entry speed and make as much time there also. So it's a fine balancing act there, as it looks like we have not yet switched over, I believe, to it looks like the leader, at least mine hasn't. It looks like we got Josh Holmes in the lead in the 000.
These guys have been able to cycle back around to the lead here after pitting, being the first guys to opt to hit pit road. So we'll have to see. Fuel is an issue, and if they were short before just by that little bit, cycling back out to the lead here, being in fresh air, that's kind of gonna cause the same problem. We're gonna have to keep an eye on to see if they actually can make it to the end.
I tell you what, Michael Haru, who stayed out the longest there, you see him coming up the outside here of these drivers. He's been looking very strong as he made the pit stop later and still got here.
Yeah, it's good timing for cycling around. He caught right at the tail end of this lead pack here, right when he got back up to speed, and didn't have to work too hard to stay in the draft. Looks like now charging the lead.
I tell you what, are these other drivers saving?
Oh no!
Contact out front between the 000 and the 7. Oh man, they save it though. Good job of them saving it there, because that could have ended up a lot more bad than it did.
And the best thing is, doesn't look like there's any damage on the nose of the 000. Don't know about the 7 of Michael Haru, but the 000 looking pretty good here. That could have been very, very bad.
Man, oh man. And we're seeing the 7 there drive around the outside, but I think what happened there is, I think these guys are saving fuel.
It very well might be the case if they knew that they were battling hard like we just talked about, and they were short before. Take the time now. You're not really under pressure. The rest of the pack is a good distance behind you here. They're having to charge to catch up to you. Take the time to save that little bit of extra fuel, and you only needed maybe a quarter of a lap to make it to the checker flag here without sputtering. So a lot of opportunity and a lot of time here, and they're making use of it.
And looking at lap times right now, running out front right now, Josh Holmes is at 52 flat. We were running upwards of 50 flat. So these guys are 2 seconds a lap slower right now. And I'm telling you what it is, they're saving fuel. And this is exactly what's going on right here.
If you look behind them to the 57 in 8th position, they just ran 2 seconds quicker last time by, leading that pack, trying to catch this front pack again. So absolutely they're saving fuel here. I don't know how much they're going to be able to save running that much slower. Looked like about 2 to 3 laps, but I think it's just going to be enough.
Man, oh man, this is going to play out interesting now, man, with these drivers trying to save fuel. I mean, the more cars up here to break the air for them and let them save fuel, it will help. So they'll be able to speed up here once these guys that have the fuel certainly to make it to the end. Oh, the 3 of Anthony Gaudio, he's all by himself going to the third lane, and he's just going around everybody. Oh, has he got?
Oh no!
Oh no, him and Matthew do contact, but there's not going to be a caution there, guys. Oh, there it is. Caution has been thrown. I believe that was a caution here, as the admins have decided that was enough contact there to bring out the caution flag here. As race control here is yeah, man, first or Nissan Central caution. And I tell you what, big hit there for the 55 of Matthew Dude, and the 3 of Anthony Gaudio down the back straightaway. Is oh, it looks like, oh man, I think exactly what happened was Anthony had, as he's grinding the right side of the car right now, just trying to lighten it up. He got into the wall going down the back straightaway, and then got into Matthew. So unfortunate for that 3 of Anthony Gaudio there. You see the damage on the left front getting into that 55 of Matthew Dude, bringing out our first caution. Now this anybody that was worried about fuel no longer worries about fuel other than a green white checker.
Yeah, I think if absolutely, if you're worried about fuel here, just come in top off just to be sure. Even if you're at the back of the field here and you think, okay, I'm pretty good, just come in and take fuel anyway. You could get a little bit of extra speed in it, a little bit of heavier load, getting that spoiler out of the air might make you a little bit faster here, but for sure you should be able to make it to the end of the race with these caution laps, even if you don't. Really kind of saved quite a few people here. I think, the guys we were talking about, Josh Holmes and Stephen Carey, the guys that were worried and trying to save a little bit, they know for sure now, hey, we can just go.
Well, I'll tell you what, with 13 to go here, they're gonna have a lot of decisions to make before they come here. And I tell you, like you said, Brandon, you kind of want to do. I would, if you're worried about fuel, I would pit for this case. I think you could get back up there, and it'll also make you feel better if they do get a few cautions with some green light checkers, because then you'll be sitting nice and fine with fuel. You won't have to worry about that. You can stay out during that sequence, and you never know. You could be back in your hands at some point.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time that you have to make it to the end of the race to have a chance to win it. And running out of fuel, you're not wrecked, but you're definitely not going to be winning the race. And with how quick everybody is here, running out of fuel for even coming out of turn 4, you can lose a lot of positions sputtering to get back across the line. Just how far away the start finish line is here at Talladega than it is traditionally at any other track.
And we got good buddy out there, Brian Johnson, out there in the chat. He's talking about his Dodge Chargers, Mopar or no car. He's a big fan of Mopar, let me tell you.
Well, that's a shame that Dodge was so bad they decided to bail out of NASCAR then.
Oof. Oof. Big oof. I think Brian may no longer be your friend, as I believe he's got the. I tell you what, this will make Brian pretty happy. I think the 28, and even that's his favorite number. If we could look at Justin Hendry here, Robert, for a second, the 28. You take a look at that car. I think Brian might enjoy that one there, out there in chat. See, he's got the Dodge Charger number 28 too. I must point out that's Brian's favorite number. So look at that. You got his Dodge Charger. So
yeah, I'm
all
sure
for Brian Johnson right there.
I'm sure I'm going to be getting some words from Soda Can here soon.
Yeah, you're gonna be getting some mad people.
Oh, Robert's not happy with me either. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun with my final broadcast, but I had a blast.
He's getting cut off. You cannot talk bad about Dodge.
Always fun up here in the Freaky Fast booth.
He said Brian says they bailed out to get into something quicker without corners, and I think he's talking about drag racing. So,
Don't get me started on drag racing.
oh no, that was definitely don't want to start with that. Brian would not be a fan of you saying anything about drag racing. We'll leave that for another time. I know the Freaky Fast booth right now is getting a little violent there. A little
Hostile work
toxicity up here.
environment.
A little toxicity up here is flowing out of Mr. Brandon Crowley. But I tell you what, we'll see what these drivers can do if they have any. I tell you what, it's going to be high aggression now. This is the go time. 11 to go. We're nearing the end of this ARCA Evolution Series race here. Round number 9. Who's going to stamp this race, get their first win of the season, and really come out of here with a lot of momentum? This place could build you some momentum for the rest of the season. How it plays out.
Well, I gotta favor Josh Holmes. He's been really aggressive and been able to find his way to the front now, and now not having to save fuel like we talked about. I think he's going to be really aggressive and go to that outside lane here and get back to the lead. But also got to point out, Chris Smerol has managed to find his way up to the lead here in the late goings of the race. So definitely got to watch out for him as well.
Definitely will. Chris Monroe put himself up in the lead now. That 14. He comes out of nowhere sometimes, Brandon. He's one of the guys you always got to watch for. I feel like each and every race, it doesn't matter what track it is. Christopher Smerl is out there doing a great job in that 14.
Yeah, and you don't even have to be in the top 5 and end up winning this race. So somebody back in 12th, James Wright or Justin Hendry in the 28, they've still got a really good chance to find a hole and get a good run and get to the front right when they need to. Seen it happen before. Guys way back in the pack just able to find the perfect lane and get to the front when it matters.
I'll tell you who my dark horse is the 15 of David Edwards, our points leader, starting in that 9th position. He was in that very back pack. They were riding along, trying to stay out of trouble. Now it's go time for him. Let's see what the points leader can say about this, as the iRacing pace car will take the left-hand turn down the pit road and gently pull up pit road. No burning out tires either. iRacing, they're saving the tires on their iRacing car now for new ones.
Those things are expensive.
Yeah, tires are expensive, man. Here as we enter the restart zone, just rolling this 14 here. We'll be taking this green flag at any moment here. Green flag in the air. We'll have 10 to go here. See who can make their mark here as we head down to turn 1. Haru on the outside line at 7. You got the 73 of Malarkey pushing the 14 of Sparrow with Stephen Carey, our pole setter, in that third car on that bottom lane.
Kind of questioning the decision here. Stephen Carey had a really good lane to hop up, as we see Justin Malarkey bailing out on Chris Sparrow now, but Stephen Carey going to be right there to pick him up. And Malarkey again in that center lane all by his lonesome, as everybody else is elected to go to the outside or inside here.
Yeah, Malarkey has not been able to get out of that sucker hole. He's been stuck in the middle all tonight, but he's fighting back. I mean, we've seen him do it multiple times in the middle, fight back, and he's doing it right now with the help of Michael Haru in front and Zach Sandlin in behind in that 57. As these drivers come out of 4 here, coming to 9 to go. Malarkey making the move. Haru to block it. That's going to be a wreck right in front of the field. A lot of drivers making it through that, surprisingly. That could have been a devastating wreck there, as I think we had about 3 or 4 cars involved.
Zach, look who's in 4th place after that.
David Edwards. I didn't want to say it, but I called it. As I believe here, we'll try to bring up this here freaking fast replay to show you our second or Nissan Central caution of the night here. The ARCA Evolution Series is aggression is ramping up out here. As right there was a little bit of a block there gone wrong there in the 7, and the 73 to the inside there, as we'll see here, multiple cars getting involved here. Actually, I think this is actually the restart right here.
There it is.
Oh, that was the first caution, I believe.
I don't know.
As, we're having a little bit. We're trying to get it all worked out here. Here it is. This will be our. Oh, that was it, but it's gone now. They're wrecking. You see the 94 there involved. The Steve Potter.
Don't want to pick up super speedway
23
wrecks.
Of Kevin Dowd. 75 of Michael Martino involved. Multiple cars. Michael Haru, though, is the big one. Then the 7 really taking some massive hits.
Let me see.
Actually, he saved it, actually. Whoa. The 7 of Michael Haru actually got it going back straight with the help of Justin Malarkey. Those two made it through it.
Well, yeah, all things considered, getting wrecked out of second place there, battling hard to try to get the lead and not getting any damage from it. Very rare thing to have happen at a plate track. Really good heads up, I got to point out, for a lot of these guys. That it happened directly in front of the field, and guys were able to check up and find the open lane and then creep on by and keep the wreck cars to a minimum here. Even the cars that were involved, very few have severe damage. So way to go, guys.
Yeah, everybody did a fantastic job getting through that there on our second or Nissan Central caution of the night.
I don't know
I tell you
why.
what's
That
weird is
never triggers.
when I did some practice laps today, just trying out the new build here on iRacing, I felt like the smoke off the tires was thicker. Got a
It
few
is.
incidents, and I didn't read nothing in the patch notes about this, but man, I'm telling you, there was a wreck I went through that I could not see nothing. And I'm telling you, so if the drivers to make it through that, I don't know how bad the smoke was for them right there, but a car spinning out in front of the field like that, for them, most cars to make it through it, that's a good thing on the drivers out here. And I don't know how David Edwards got the sixth, but he did.
Well, I did read in the patch notes, Zach, that they did talk about increasing like the smoke density and the particle
Okay.
effects for it. So it is a lot more realistic now and a lot more thick, like you talked about. So a little bit added to the immersion there of a wreck, not really being able to see anything in front of you when something happens.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense then. It totally makes sense, man. It's really interesting, but and I think right here we'll see who can come out. I tell you what, Malarkey and Haru though, both those drivers, 8th, and I think did Malarkey pit there? No, he stayed up in second with that caution. Wow, I thought he would drop back farther in that 74. So that's pretty interesting to see there, I must say, because it looks
Yeah.
like he'll be in third at the moment. Maybe he was a second across the line last time, but looks like he'll be lining up third. So wow, for that incident there between him and Michael Haru, third and 8th for them two drivers. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, considering the fact that he didn't get any damage really from that incident, he's saved by the scoring gods there.
Saved by the scoring gods on iRacing. Yeah, you'll take that sometimes here. As I think the pace car light should go out this time by here, as there'll be a crossing the start finish line here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Yes, they are. Lights are out this time. We'll get ready to go back. Green flag racing, but I think Robert was laughing about our chat out there. Yeah,
No.
Brian Johnson saying Zach is freaking fast. Brandon is just freaking nuts, and I think we can all agree to that. I think we can.
No.
Nope, Brandon's not a fan.
Not a fan.
Not a fan here. Not a big fan. Not a fan at all.
As a windmill said to the farmer, I am not a fan.
I make energy, my son. Haha. Oh man, definitely nervous energy up in the booth. I think there's some nervous energy on the track, though. I mean, that's when it gets down to like this with the super speedways, it's always wild.
Especially now with the few laps we've got remaining, these guys are going to be slicing and dicing, trying to get all they can get. Everybody's going to be aggressive. You cannot afford to give at this point in the race.
No lifting, no giving. That's going to be what we're seeing here at the very end.
Full sends.
Full sends? Full sends. You heard it here first from Brandon Colley. It's going to be full sends up here in the pack. But I tell you, Smerol, see if he can get himself a victory here. I believe Smerol does have a victory to his name. Maybe before I run my mouth, let me.
Homestead, if I remember correctly.
Yes, he did. Yes, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So one to his name, and also one in David Edwards' hand. But other than that, I think also with Kel Seaman. Yeah, so we could see a new winner here as the pace car is going to pull off this time. See who can position themselves to get their first win of the season here. Sparrow trying to get his second. David Edwards trying to get his second also. We'll see how it all shakes out here on Freaky Fast Broadcast. And thank you all for tuning in here as we'll get ready to go back. Green flag racing here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Green flag is back in the air, and we're off and away with 6 to go. Christopher Sparrow leading us down to turn 1. Justin Malarkey with the help. What can they formulate here to get the lead from? I tell you what, Brian Fine now up into that 4th car in the bottom lane in that 98. He was hanging back in this race at some points too, so he's up front now. Big moves for a lot of these drivers throughout the field.
Yeah, Brian Fine was in the back during that green flag pit stop and able to make his way through these cautions here, back up to the front, give himself a good chance. I was concerned on that restart. The outside lane really checked up quite a bit. Josh Holmes not having a lot of help. But really now the help is here. Zach Sandlin, Brian Fine still to the inside, but we've got Jeff Carson, and then we've got David Edwards along with him here, trying to push him back to the lead. And I'm pulling for Josh Holmes. He got his podium finish at Martinsville, and unfortunately due to the scoring, we weren't able to talk to him. He felt like, man, it's the only time I was probably going to get one of those, and I couldn't talk to you guys, so hoping he can talk to us tonight.
Side by side as they enter through turn 1. Sparrow going to get the edge out front as the help from Malarkey is very useful. Malarkey, a great pusher. He's got the 83 of Stephen Carey directly behind him, our pole setter. But here comes Michael Haru back on the top, 3 wide all by himself. Does that man have a turbocharger?
Gonna need the 7 car for inspection post-race.
He was flying, man. He had a mega run up top there. See if any of these drivers will elect to hop up there with him, because I tell you what, that 7's fast. If we can just get some help with him, he could be going to the front here at some point as we come into 4 to go this time. Smarroll still in hand with the lead, but look at this. Holmes with the help from Zach Sandlin as they head down to the start-finish line here. 4 to go for the ARCA Evolution Series.
And that's the biggest problem this late in the going. Nobody wants to help anybody. They just want to be helped. So you put yourself in a position like that and just hope somebody thinks that, hey, I can push this guy to the front and then maybe get pushed to the front. It looks like David Edwards elected to go now to the top side and try to push the 7 of Michael Rue.
Big runs here, a lot of energy being formed here as they continue. I tell you what, we are 3 wide. Man, look at this 3 wide racing here, all the way back to almost the 14th position. This is great to see here as we ride on board. Look at this pack, 3 by 3 by 3 everybody's giving it everything we have. Zach Sandlin up top of the 57, getting the push from the 7 of Michael Haru. Who's going to lead this lap with 3 to go? This time by your leader was Zach Sandlin with Josh Holmes second, Christopher Smurl on the bottom in the 3rd place position. Zach Sandlin in the wall. We may have an incident. Haru up top. James right in the 8. Multiple cars going around. The first big one of the night, 3rd for Nissan Central Caution will come out, and the pile up from there will continue on. Oh, man, a lot of cars caught up.
Yeah, look, about 7 or 8 cars there just in a big old wad of sheet metal. And Bob Fitzpatrick Sr. here dragging the poor blue cone down to the wall with him. That poor cone.
That poor cone. It didn't. Tire out there laying out there on the track right now, as you'll see here on the Freaky Fast replay. The 8 of James Wright and Brian Fine getting into it, but the first contact was Zach Sandlin into the wall, and Michael Haru also into the wall there too. As you see Matt Upbrook around in that Smoky Unuk car, and man, from there to 23 of Kevin Dow, the 2 of Steven Rasick, multiple cars, Albert Hughes, Anthony Gaudio, just carnage here ensuing at the Talladega Super Speedway. That was the first big one of the night, I would say.
Yeah, and looking at it, we still got enough cars up here to make up the front pack that we could very well have a second big one here for this first attempt at a green-white checkered.
What a sight to see here at the Talladega Super Speedway. I mean, at some point it's got to happen, and it came to fruition there as 3 wide racing. That was so epic, man. These guys were going at it.
It was just a one little incident. Somebody wiggled a little bit too much, and guys had to give room, and that small things cause big problems at plate races when you're stacked 3 wide all the way through the field.
I tell you what, now, with the way it's playing out here, we're going to have a green-white here to extend tonight's race do these drivers have enough fuel? Did they save enough under these cautions? That's going to be a question because, I mean, this will be our first attempt at one, but do they have enough for two if we had to go another one?
It's a very good question. We talked about Josh Holmes trying to save fuel after his green flag pit stop, and they've had some caution laps after to help save a good bit. But I thought for sure, definitely going to be able to make to the race, to the end of the race, but maybe not for the green white checkers. Whereas other guys, like Michael Haru, I believe Carl Thompson and Stephen Carey that had pit later. They should definitely have enough to make it to the end of these. If we have two green white checkers, without having to worry about saving too much.
That's the question I asked myself. Those drivers that couldn't stretch it that halfway point, they already had to save fuel. I mean, these caution laps, we know how caution laps are going to definitely help, but the longer this race presses on, they definitely got to start worrying about fuel, in my opinion, as it's going to be a little bit of time here before we go green flag racing again.
I got Rob Upham in the chat saying plenty of fuel. That's not a worry right now. I'd have to agree that even if it is a worry, you just don't worry about it. You've got too much ahead of you that you got to be paying attention to worry about your fuel gauge. So
if you're the crew chief, that's what you say. Plenty of fuel, buddy. Don't worry
plenty of
about
fuel.
it. Don't even worry about it. No problems. Don't even have to flick on the reserve switch unless it starts to sputter.
Yeah.
I wish we had a reserve switch at iRacing. That'd be pretty cool too. Let's see.
Yeah, an extra button. I'm gonna have to forget to map to my
I know,
wheel.
right? Yeah, I didn't turn the reserve switch on. Oh, I'm not gonna make it. Oh man, unfortunate there, but yeah, like Robert out in the chat there on YouTube saying, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a fantastic race so far here, as always in the ARCA Evolution Series. These guys always put on a show here at the Evolution Racing Leagues. It's been a pleasure so far. And I can't wait to get into the Cup Series here also with the new builds, changes. I'm telling you, if you want to see some interesting racing here tonight, drivers all learning too. That's the thing. Everybody's going to be learning tonight with the new Cup build. That it's really got me excited. And you can really do some interesting things with the new Cup build with the aerodynamics now. So we're going to have to see who can master it first. And maybe Ryan Beam. We've seen Ryan Beam be so strong in the Cup Series at restrictor plate tracks. Everybody talked about he's the man to beat when they've went there. He see if he can pick up the new package as fast as anybody also.
It's going to be a blast for sure. So absolutely, like Zach said, if you're enjoying this right now, in about an hour, join us back here at Freaky Fast for the RSR Cup Series. As those Cup drivers take on Talladega for 75 laps. It's definitely going to be a blast.
Well, pace car lights are out this time, Brandon. We're going to bring this thing back, green flag racing here this next time by here to the Talladega Super Speedway. First green white checkered attempt here. We're going to stretch this to lap 43, it looks like, is what's going to be the finishing distance of this race. So 3 extra laps added on. Man, who do you think sits in a good position right now? I mean, Smurl's done a great job to hold that lead, but we've seen the 3 wide action. That outside line could be very quick.
Well, I'm liking the position that David Edwards and Jeff Carson are in. I like having that option to get the run to go to the outside. Josh Holmes, depending on the restart, he can elect to just fill a gap on the outside and kind of leave Chris Smurl hanging here. But where he's sitting now, there's not a lot of opportunity for him to make any more passes. Just kind of have to be content to really push the 14 along. So I definitely have to say the 81 and the 15 are looking pretty in a pretty good spot to take this thing if they can just formulate something.
That's what we'll have to watch here down to the very end. With all you fans here at Freaky Fast, it's going to be fun. All y'all out there, let us know who you're rooting on and trying to see bring that car home in that first position or make it through some calamity here at the end. There could definitely be an incident coming down to the white flag, and you never know. Someone from that really 16th position on could win this race.
And I mean, you're even looking back at 8th position. Zach Sandlin had a little bit of an issue earlier. Still looking really good. Still up here in the top 10. And Stephen Baldwin saying, "Let's go 57." So Zach Sandlin still got a really good shot at this thing too.
Looking very strong at the moment. Are these drivers out here? I tell you what looks strong is that pace car pulling off. It's going to pull itself down to the pit road, possibly for the last time tonight, to see who is going to be our Sheffield Graphics race winner here. We got our first overtime attempt here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting with the ARCA Evolution Series here. Going to take it 2x2 here into the restart zone. Christopher Smerol leading the way.
Green.
Green flag is in the air. We are off and away for OT number 1 overtime here at the ARCA Evolution Series. Justin Malarkey, great start for him. Same with Jeff Carson. The outside lane looks to be going forward here in ring 1.
Well, look, David Edwards laying back a good bit on the restart. Didn't quite get a great jump here, but he can get a big run, maybe go to the outside, possibly bring the 57 of Zach Sandlin along with him.
Down the back straightaway, here they come. Dead even heat for the front two of Malarkey and Smerol. What do they do behind? They're going to have to formulate something. Justin Hendry, the first car to jump up on the outside lane. He's in the 4th row. He's in that 28, directly behind the 15 of David Edwards. We'll see them come out of 4 this time. They'll be looking to take the white flag here as they come out of 4. It's the 3rd lane setting up. David Edwards up there. He's got the help of Justin Hendry in the 28. They're 3x3 here as they take the white flag here. Brought to you by Sheffield Graphics. One final time here tonight for the ARCA Evolution Series as they head through turn 1, 3x3. Ken Edwards makes them happen. Malarkey slides up the racetrack. He gets a little loose. They're wrecking Justin Hendry behind. James Wright, David Edwards, multiple cars involved. Zach Sandlin, Jeff Carson, Stephen Carey, and Carl Thompson. It's a 3-car breakaway. Who's going to win this? Josh Holmes. Look at the front tire. Up front, they're battling. The 14. Contact with the 000. Josh Holmes, here's the 73 Malarkey. Where does he go? This is going to be the question. Who's going to get back to the line first? Malarkey with the help to the back of the 14. The 000 trying to cover him off here as they head through the tri-oval here. Side by side here as they come to the line. Christopher Smerol going to get his 2nd win of the season here with Malarkey coming within 28 hundredths. 3rd is going to go to Josh Holmes in the 000. What a finish here at the ARCA Evolution Series at Talladega.
And did Josh Holmes just blow a tire?
What?
He rubbed his tire with the right rear of the 14 after they crossed the line, and then it just exploded.
Whoa. We'll go back here and see exactly what happened on the Freak Fast replay coming down in there. You see Justin Hendry, the 2 of Steve Racing, James Wright in the 8. Multiple cars involved. But look, there's a 57, the 15, David Edwards. Multiple heavy hits here. And you're going to see the front tire of the 57 here come off at some point and be rolling across the racetrack here. The drivers are trying to make it through here. Yeah, man, I tell you what, the 000 there definitely had a left front down there at the very end. That's pretty interesting, I must say. It actually just broke that. It wasn't a flat tire. It broke that hub on that left front too. Look at there's the tire going by. Oh man. What the heck there is iRacing damage while there. Whoa, there goes another tire. Oh, another tire. You get a tire. You're at the ARCA Evolution Series. But tell you what, we'll roll up here. Gonna be doing some celebrating, burning it down, letting everybody know who was the winner here tonight at the ARCA Evolution Series at Talladega as Christopher Smerol does some burnouts here. So shout out to all the drivers out there. That was a heck of a race. We'll get our top 3 podium finishers up here, and we'll be right back in one moment. All right, we are back here. Fast broadcasting booth as we got our top 3 finishers here tonight. To see Josh Holmes here with the ghost tire getting shoved behind his car. There is he has lost his left front, but he made it third. That's all that matters for that. So we'll see what he has to say about tonight's race here at the Talladega Super Speedway as the tires getting closer and closer. Hey, Josh is back up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Yes, I do. How you guys doing?
Doing fantastic, Josh. Watching your car right now go around the track as you're carrying a left front tire there as you came across the start finish line. Man, I tell you what, it was close coming down to the end. First off, I gotta say congrats on getting the top 3 here tonight because I know you got one at Martinsville. We didn't know the exact results, so we didn't get a chance to talk to you there. So I'm glad to see you got one tonight to get your chance up here in the broadcast booth, man. But I tell you what, just let us know, what was going through your mind coming down to the end because that was a wild, wild finish here tonight.
Coming down to the end, I was honestly just clueless. I'm coming around the corner. I got people screaming in my ear, go side draft, do this, do this. And then at the last minute, I realized the 2 guys are teammates. And that's when my heart sunk down to my chest and realized I'm getting the top 3.
Oh, that's very true. I didn't even think of that. That's a great point. The 2 there, your battle with teammates, that's tough to pull off, man. But I tell you what, you still you fought valiantly to the end, and you kept it there to 58 or 53 thousandths of a second. So that was very, very close between your top 3 there. It was fun to watch, man. But we head to Kansas next week here in the ARCA Evolution Series. Josh, how you feeling for the Kansas track?
Definitely the whole team. We're going to do daily practices or, a few times a week. I don't think we raced there last season, so it's going to be new to a couple of us because we joined late. So we're excited.
Awesome stuff, man. Well, I'll tell you what, congrats on third here tonight. It was a fantastic race to watch, and you pulled it off almost there at the very end, man. But before we let you go, anybody wants to shout out to you for this third place finisher tonight?
Oh, absolutely. My dad's watching right now. Just got off the phone with him. Also, Delta 9 of PA. I want to thank them along with Doc. They've been a great help to the team. And also 6-2 Designs. And Ryan as well for throwing up this great league.
Awesome stuff, Josh, man. Well, great stuff here tonight. We'll catch you at Kansas next week, and hopefully we'll see you up in the top 3 again, man.
Hopefully. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You too, buddy. All right, that was Josh Holmes there in the 000, bringing home that top 3 finisher tonight. I'm glad to see him up in the booth. Like I said, Martinsville, you got a top 3, but we did not know the results as they were pending there with the wild finish there. So we did not get a chance to talk to him, but he got his talk in here tonight. But now we'll move on to Justin Malarkey here in the 73 and see what his thoughts are on the night after coming through. It was completely sideways in front of the field and somehow lived. Hey, Justin, Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Hey, Zach, I hear you.
Hey, Justin, I tell you what, man. Well, first off, before we get any farther to race, you're involved in a pretty big incident there with Michael Haroon, the 7 there with, I believe that was, coming down to the end there a few cautions ago. You were dead sideways in front of the field. Now, what's going through your mind there as you actually, you and the 7 got tangled up, but somehow both of y'all made it through?
Yeah, luckily the 14 was there so I could shorten up his car and make it faster in the draft because he saved me from going through the infield, I think.
Yeah, he definitely did. That was a wild, wild crash there. Luckily, you're able to make it through it there. And then there, coming down to the end, man, there you got your teammate, like you said, the 14 of Christopher there. And you guys got hooked up there and were able to battle out that 000 down to the end. So, coming down the end, did you have any plans to see maybe if you could pull it off, or was it all about, trying to get to that second place position?
Yeah, Chris and I, our goal was on the restart to kind of pretty much stay side by side, but I knew the third line would come. And 81 was pushing me great and pushing me through the corner. We were going good. I just that last push a little bit on the right side of the bumper got me up the track a little bit. So I was in the third lane, and then it got all crazy behind us. And then there was 3 of us, and then I had to figure out which blue car was my teammate, and I figured that out. And then I'm like, I got to push him. Sorry, Josh.
That's great. You had to figure out which car. Yeah, they're both blue cars. There, so.
Yeah.
Had 2 decisions. Yeah, it made the right one, though, so it worked out for your team there, man.
I'm like, if we go 3 wide, chances are we all wreck coming to the line, and then none of us win. So I'm like, we got to figure this out. And then Chris went up the track a little bit there, coming out of Trioval to try and block the run on the 0. And I tried to go underneath them just to get there, but ran out of time. It was good.
Yeah, man, it was real close between you guys. You almost stretched out that nose just a little bit to get that win there. It would have been definitely interesting to see, man. But I tell you what, great second place finish here for you tonight as we head to Kansas next week. Anybody want to say a shout to you before we let you go, man?
Yeah, definitely. I want to also thank Matt and Jake because we had a good strategy there on the pit stops originally halfway through the race, and that got us to the front. And Jake had some issues in the beginning, missed the race, but he was able to help us with some fuel strategy. And then just shout out to my parents. I know they're watching. My dad definitely is probably excited. He probably wanted me to be in that third lane a lot more time sooner to block the runs. But my brother, sister, and everyone else watching, hope they enjoyed the race. It was definitely fun. It was really clean, even though the end got crazy, but that's Talladega. That's expected.
That's exactly right. It definitely is expected, but it was fun to watch. That's all that matters. I tell you what, great stuff, Justin. We'll catch you next week at Kansas, man, and you have a great night.
All right. Congrats again, 14. See ya.
All right, that was Justin Malarkey there in the 73, bringing home that second place finish tonight, able to help Chris Merle, his teammate, to that victory as he almost edged him out, but he gave him the push to make sure he could get it. So let's see what Chris Merle has to say about getting his second victory here and one on a restrict plate track. Hey, Chris, it's Zach in the booth, man. You got a copy? Hey, Chris, it's Zach in the booth, man. You got a copy? It looks like we may not have Chris Merle here at the moment in the 14, but he is our victor here tonight. I'll do one more time. Hey, Chris, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, hey, I think I'm having some connectivity issues, but I got you now.
Awesome. Yeah, I got you there loud and clear that
Can
time,
you
man.
hear me?
Yeah, I got you there that time. I think you are maybe having a few issues, but we'll see what we can get from you here, man. But congrats on the victory here tonight at Talladega. Your second of the season. It's a great one. You know, you're a teammate, Justin Markey, coming down to the end there with the battle with Josh Holmes. Kind of describe to us, you know, what it was like there because you had to hold off multiple restarts there in the lead.
Yeah. So I have been snake bitten at plate tracks just my whole iRacing career, to be honest with you. So I always go in with low expectations and high hopes, but it was a great team effort. That's the way I would describe it. Justin, Matt, and Jake all together, we made it happen. And I blinked, and the next thing I know, it's getting down toward the end of the race, and we're up front, and I've got my teammate either behind me or beside me. So you can't really ask for setup than that going into it, and then you kind of just roll the dice and see where it lands. And when it came down to it, Justin sacrificed himself. He could not have made better plays, better pushing, blocking, killing momentum of outside. Like, the whole thing was just a masterclass. And we were talking in the booth. I don't think if we did that 9 more times that it would have worked out quite as well. So hats off to Justin for getting us to the lead and the victory, and but ultimately though, just hats off to the MR73 racing team because that was a team victory.
It definitely was. Like you said, I don't know if you could have done it again as perfectly as you guys did it. It definitely worked out perfectly for the team there, man. But congrats on your second victory this season. Now you think you can carry some momentum heading into Kansas next week because you got that win at Homestead. What do you think you can bring at Kansas next week to another mile and a half?
Yeah, I feel really good about Kansas, and I'll be honest with you, anytime you can walk away from Talladega with a victory, that's just gonna, I hope, put the work in like we always do, and practice as a team, and put our nose to the grindstone, back to work. One more week, and it's a totally different type of track, so we got our work cut out for us, but I think we're up to the task.
I think you guys definitely are, Chris. I'll tell you that, man. It's been fun to watch. But before we let you go, man, for this victory here tonight, anybody want to send a shout to?
Yeah, 100%. First and foremost, my family. Thanks for watching and supporting me, and letting me do all this. It's awesome, and I love them to death. And my team, MR73, like we already talked about, I think I beat that dead horse, but they are the absolute best team I could have asked for. And Justin put together a great group of guys that I enjoy racing with every week. And obviously, my 6-year-old was sitting here watching over my shoulder at the very end, so he's super excited that Daddy wants to watch it back with me later. So I think I'm gonna plan on doing that tomorrow, and we will see you guys next week. Hopefully, back here. We'll see though.
Awesome stuff, Chris, man. Wouldn't doubt to see you back up here and possibly victory lane again for that third win, man. But congrats on tonight. Cherish it, and we will catch you next week at Kansas. All right, guys. That was Chris Morrow here, your winner tonight in the ARCA Evolution Series, brought to you by Sheffield Graphics. So congrats to him on that. We'll go ahead and pull up our race results here tonight after this fantastic ARCA Evolution Series race here for the Sheffield Graphics 40 at the Talladega Super Speedway. As we got another race coming up too here in the RSR Cup Series at 9:20 Eastern, so make sure you tune in for that. But here is our race results. Christopher Moreau going to bring home that victory. Second's going to go to Justin Malarkey. Third, Josh Holmes. Fourth's going to be James Wright in the 8 Machine. Fifth, Michael Martino. Sixth going to be Matthew Dude. Seventh, Steve Potter. Eighth, Jeff Carson. Ninth, David Edwards. 10th will be Justin Hendry. 11th, Stephen Rasick. 12th, Zach Sandlin. 13th is Carl Thompson. 14th, Ryan White. 15th, Stephen Carey. 16th, Michael Haru. 17th, Albert Hughes. 18th, Anthony Gaudio. 19th, Buddy Pitts. 20th, Harold Rothery. 21st, Jake Ashea. 22nd is Matt Upbrook. 23rd, Bob Fitzpatrick Sr. 24th is Kevin Dowd. 25th, Brian Fine. And rounding out your field in the 26th position will be Richard Gonzalez. That's our race results here tonight from the ARCA Evolution Series here at the Talladega Super Speedway. What a fantastic race. I can't put any more words on that. But Brandon, what did you think about here tonight, and what can we expect at Kansas next week?
Well, it was a lot of fun, man. I love plate racing. The battles, the high-speed chess match that you have to play here. It's always a blast to watch these guys go to battle. And I'm excited to see what Kansas has to offer now, especially with this new build now. We know some of the lanes have been opened up quite a bit, gives you a lot more options. Should be really exciting to see these guys navigate it and maybe learn a few things and maybe teach us a few new things there for the next time we have to go to Kansas. But I've also got to point out, getting word from Race Control that they've determined that the 73 of Justin Malarkey went below the yellow line to advance his position, so they're going to score him as the last car on the lead lap, which would move James Wright in the 8 up to tonight's third place finisher.
Well, congrats to James Wright on that third place finisher as you hear it now. But yeah, great stuff there. Great night overall. But we got another great race coming up here at the RSR Cup Series, so make sure to tune in here in the next hour here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting to catch the Cup cars here at Talladega. But man, oh man, what a great night here. We'll send it up to Robert Moore Jr. here to close out our ARCA Series broadcast.
That is correct. Thank you, gentlemen, for calling a great race. Thank you to Evolution ARCA Series drivers for putting on a great show here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Thank you to all the fans out there for tuning in on YouTube and Facebook. We do much appreciate it up here in the booth and the crew here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But like them gentlemen said, within less than an hour, we're going to bring out a new build, new cup. Well, not new cup cars, but with the cup cards with the new build. So make sure you tune in at 9:20 Eastern to see what these things do. I'm sure it's going to be one whale of a race, and heck, we don't even know what we're going to be expecting yet. So hopefully you tune in and enjoy it and share it with your friends and family, and we get a great crowd out here tonight here at 9:20. But until then, we want to say God bless everybody. We love you all. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
have the souvenirs, but I will never be your pawn, your pawn, your pawn. My love wasn't ever a game. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. You can double down. I'll still be a proud haven for your love is never love. A river through your bluff, I will be enough, enough, enough. My love wasn't ever a game. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. Something you can never take, what is not uncommon to forsake. Got a chronic urge to complicate. Think of love like a friend, not an enemy. Feeling I have nothing left to hide. I'll say what you know it when it's right. Keep it simple now, living it before I die. Think of love like a friend, not an enemy. My love